guys, what's up? So today I wanted to record a little tips and tricks video for meal prep while you're traveling during prep. So I'm going on a little mini road trip tomorrow to visit Katie and Hayden and Nick. So I needed to have all of my food ready to go because I am in prep and I need to make sure my nutrition is on point while I'm traveling, especially if I'm going to be traveling somewhere where my coach is. So I've just put together a few quick tips on meal prepping while you're on the go. So my first tip is to just keep it simple. KISS method, keep it simple, stupid. So what I mean by this is simple, basic meals when you're traveling, and Nick kind of talked about this in his staying on point while traveling video, but traveling is not the time to try and create your most fancy, flexible dieting meal that you've ever created. This is the great, perfect time to bro out. So what I mean by this is, you know, isolating macro sources, so pairing a protein and a carb source post-workout, having protein, fat, veggie meals, so picking a nutrient, having an isolated source, so like an isolated source of protein, for example, would be chicken, an isolated source of carbs, for example, would be oats, isolated example of fats would be something like butter or coconut oil, or even like peanut butter to a degree, even though there are some like accessory proteins and carbs in peanut butter, whatever. So yeah, pairing, you know, protein carb meals, protein fat meals plus a veggie, or if you have the macros to do mixed meals, so like protein, fat, and carb meals, then do that. This is another situation where I talked about in my 5 ways to make the most out of your macros video, creating a meal plan for yourself. This is a great time to stick to that meal plan that you've created for yourself just for simplicity's sake, because if you already have, you know, your meals lined up for you, then you can literally, I'll show you, I think I showed you the clip earlier in this video, you can literally just copy and paste over from MyFitnessPal. It's less time spent entering food, it's less time spent cooking, more time spent enjoying your time traveling, more time spent not on your phone or not worrying about your food. So it just simplifies the process a lot to keep your meals as simple as possible and to just stick to the same meals essentially. And again, this is all just my personal approach and what I've found has worked for me. Tip number 2 is to know your destination. So you need to, if you're staying at a hotel, for example, if you're traveling for a show, you need to know what resources you have available to you, or if you're traveling to, like I am, to somebody's house that you know, you need to know like what they have available for you to use and all that good stuff. So will there be a fridge? Will there be a microwave? Will there be an oven? Will there be a stove? Will there be, if you need a blender, will there be a blender? What kind of dishes are available, those kinds of things. So with staying in hotels, I've traveled and competed at shows numerous times before. You just have to call ahead and see what the rooms in the hotels have. Most hotels do have a mini fridge in their room, but still call ahead, double check, be sure, and if not, you can usually get one put in there. For example, when I was in Chicago for junior nationals, they did not include refrigerators in a room, and you had to add them at an extra price if you wanted to have a fridge in your room, which as a competitor traveling, when you need your food, you need a fridge in your room. And then second thing that would be really good to make sure that you have is a microwave. Some hotels do have microwaves, some hotels don't. I keep tripping over my words, come on. Some hotels do, some hotels don't, so you need to call and ask. Then a coffee maker, I know Nick talked about this in his video as well. You can make stuff like oats in a coffee pot. It's real easy, so check and see if you have that. You can also bring, if you have like a George Foreman grill, you can bring that with you. So yeah, just check and see what's available to you at your destination and then plan accordingly. So if you need to, I don't know if you can bring your own fridge, I don't know. Or if you need to bring like a little George Foreman so you can cook. Or I know again, Nick mentioned, I'll link Nick's video below because his video is a really good video on this. But if you need to bring like a hot plate and a little pan to cook your stuff in, you can do that as well. And then tip number 3, learning to travel with your method of transport. So my preferred method of transport when going anywhere is a car. Just, again, not so much for simplicity's sake, but for convenience sake, I guess would be the right word. So in a car, you can bring more with you. You don't have to worry about TSA regulations. You don't have to worry about, you know, fitting everything into a 3 ounce or less size. You don't have to worry about your ice packs not being frozen all the way. You also have the ability to stop at a store. More so than you would on a plane, obviously. If you don't have a car at your destination, if you are flying. If you are driving, you can obviously stop at the grocery store and pick up little things that you may need along the way, get more food, all that. But if you are on a plane, you need to be aware of the TSA guidelines, what you are and are not allowed to take on the plane. For example, if you want to take something like peanut butter on the plane, it has to be in an individual packet that is under the serving size requirements for TSA guidelines. And your ice packs do have to be fully frozen and all of that good stuff. You also need to make sure you have food to eat at the airport, on the airplane if that applies, all of that stuff. Just especially like for airports, you never know when you're gonna get a layover, you never know when you're gonna be stuck there for an extended period of time. So you wanna make sure you have enough food to last throughout the day, which brings me to point number 4. Commonly asked question is, how many days at a time do you prep food for? This is again dependent on your situation. For me personally, I prep for the entire day of travel. So whether that's by car or by plane, that way I have food to get me through traffic jams, through layovers, through long flights, through if I'm in a plane, through, you know, the taxi ride from the airport to my destination, if that applies. So I have food to get me through all of those events, and then also that means I can just relax once I'm at my destination. I don't have to worry about cooking food. The only thing I would have to do is like reheat something. So I prep for the entire day of travel. And this also provides a lack of an excuse. So if you have all of your food prepped for the day of your travel, you can't, you know, say, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed from this day of travel, and just like throw your nutrition out the window, because you have your nutrition on hand, literally right in front of you. So you don't have the excuse of stress of travel to compromise your plan. And then for another thing with how many days to prep at a time, I like to prep things like meat and potatoes or other things that generally keep and travel well. I prep all of those in advance. Other things like vegetables, I don't really like the way vegetables have been tasting. I don't like the way vegetables taste after like days and days of being cooked and refrigerated. It just gets mushy and it's gross. So if I know that I can like steam or cook veggies at my destination, I will just prep for the day of travel. And then if not, so if they do have something that I can cook my veggies with once I get there, then I keep them raw. If not, I cook them beforehand. And then last but not least is tip number 5, meal management. So cooler bags save lives, everybody. I will go grab my meal bag so I can show you. Hold on just a second. All right, so this is the meal bag that I currently use. This is the Fitmark. What is it? I don't know. I'll put down below which Fitmark bag this is, because I don't remember off the top of my head and I can't see the label. So I use Fitmark bags. I use Ziploc baggies for, you know, dry goods or things like spinach that I can just kind of like shove in a bag. So dry goods like protein powders, acai powder, oats, cream of rice, cream of wheat. If I'm gonna cook rice at my destination, just keeping dry rice in a little baggie, all of those things. And then I use Tupperware containers for things like meat, potatoes, cooked vegetables, all that good stuff. Stuff that I need to keep a little bit more secure, and also stuff that I want to make sure doesn't leak. So I would never keep anything that has any sort of liquid in a Ziploc bag, regardless of how I'm carrying it, because it might pop and explode, and with my luck it will. And then another thing with prepping your foods and taking them in your bags is to pre-portion everything. So that way it's just an ease thing. Just pre-portion everything. You know, this is X amount of asparagus, this is X amount of chicken, this is X amount of rice, this is X amount of protein, yada yada yada. Just to make things easier on yourself. Do the work beforehand so when you get to your destination you don't have to do as much work. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. And then last thing, where did I put it? Oh, it's literally right here. Bring a food scale with you to your destination, even if you've already pre-portioned stuff out. So this one is one that I use. This is a Chef Circle. Hello. A Chef Circle digital food scale. The one that I use at home is a Martha Stewart food scale, but it beeps when you turn it on. And it's really noisy and it's pretty large, so it's not very like transportable. So I use this one when I'm traveling. I do have a discount code for this one. I will put that right here in the description box. I'll have to find it. I don't remember it. And yeah, I'll put all like the information in the description box below. So yeah. Those are my 5 tips for prepping your foods and meal prepping and traveling and all that stuff. If it's an off-season type situation where things can be a little bit more relaxed, I won't go to the extent that I go to in terms of meal prepping and traveling when I'm in prep, just because off-season is a bit more relaxed time for me. But when it's prep time, you need to be 100% on point. So I will do whatever I have to do to make sure that I can do that. As Nick has said many a time, your nutrition is subservient to your goals. So I prefer to leave no room for error, and I just bring everything along with me. So that has been it for my little meal prep tips while traveling video. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below if this is helpful to you. Let me know what it was about it that was helpful. If you would like to see more videos like this in the future, please let me know. And yeah, that's about it, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Love you. Bye.